Welcome to the Del Walmsley Radio Show. Del challenges the status quo, questions everything, and empowers you to return to your core beliefs to make your life better. If you're ready to hear the truth and get your roadmap to the lifestyle you really want, the next hour will change your life. And now your host, self-made millionaire, national award-winning investor of the year, CEO and founder of Lifestyles Unlimited, Del Walmsley.
Welcome to the Del Walmsley Radio Show, where the hype ends and the help begins. As always, we're working on your financial freedom. Well, today somebody sent me an article about how financial planners rip people off, and it started me thinking as I was at the gym today working out, and boy, I'll tell you what, it feels good to get back working out in the new year again, doesn't it? The world is coming to fruition. Lots of people are sending me positive emails. They're getting in shape. They're getting financially secure. They're making great gains. It's all coming together. It's a great time of year for things to happen. But this is kind of a negative Nelly kind of deal where I started thinking to myself, how badly could I get away with ripping people off if I were a financial planner? I mean, you understand that a financial planner has no fiduciary responsibility to you to not lose your money. They only have the fiduciary responsibility to you to not make egregious mistakes. They can make mistakes, but not egregious mistakes, like putting you in a Ponzi scheme or something like that. And even then, you can't do anything about it. Even if they did put you in a Ponzi scheme and you lost everything you own, you can't do a thing. You know, if a guy walked up to you with a gun and said, look, I want the $100 in your pocket, that would be a crime, right? But if somebody walks up to you, hey, I'm a financial planner, I want you to put your $1 million in my control, and I'm going to lose $300,000 or $400,000 of your money, why is that not a crime? Well, it's not a crime because Congress won't pass it to be a crime. And why won't Congress pass it to be a crime? Because of financial institutions, the big banks, the financial planners, all these gigantic businesses want your money, and they don't want to have to take the responsibility to do something positive for you when it's involved. So I just started thinking today, what kind of stupid stuff could I get you to do? You go, well, Del, that's mean. You know, is it? These guys sit around every day and come up with product to sell you. Dumb as could be product. And you fall for it. They sell it to you. And so I'm just asking you, how dumb would you allow yourself to be? How stupid of stuff would you allow me to sell you? I'm going to start out with the number one favorite plan for everybody. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to buy a house. All right? Now, what we're going to do, we're going to buy it on payments so you can afford to buy it. And we're going to deduct out of your paycheck every month an amount necessary to make the payment on the house. Now, don't worry. You'll never miss it because we're taking it right out of your paycheck. Right? You'll never miss that money. It's gone, but you'll never miss it. And besides that, it's creating a long-term retirement account that's going to hopefully someday mean you end up with more money than what you paid in. Now, I'm going to charge you a fee to sell you the house because, of course, I'm a financial planner. I've got to rip you off up front with a fee, a commission, a bonus. And then I'm going to charge you a monthly handling fee to handle this transaction for you. Then, of course, there's maintenance and repairs. There's the possibility that the house goes down in value. Of course, there's the possibility the house goes up in value. Now, each month I'm going to send you a notice, quarterly I'll send you a notice. And it may say that your net value in this asset has gone up because you've paid down some of the mortgage, right? And so your net value in this asset is going up just a little bit at a time. But if the value of the house were to drop in value, it might actually drop more than what you have paid in, and the net value might go down. But that doesn't matter because over 30 years in the long run, all things average out, and real estate doubles in value every 20 years. So within 30 years, you know you're going to be safe. But sometimes you aren't. Now, would you buy that deal? Would you do that? Would you be willing to pay? Now, I'm not going to let you rent it because heaven forbid if I let you rent it, you might make some cash flow. And we don't want you to make any cash flow. We don't want you to earn even a dime. We just want you to blindly pay into this account every single month for 30 or 40 years of your life. Just blindly do it. Guys, please listen to me. I'm not trying to lie to you. This is what you're doing right now. This is your 401k plan. Do you not recognize it? You pay money blindly into an account every month that's taken out of your bank or out of your paycheck, and you don't even miss it because it comes out of your paycheck. It doesn't pay you a dime. You never receive cash flow off your 401k for 30 or 40 years. It just sits there. But lo and behold, your financial planner companies, the 401k administrator, they're making money off of it. The brokers inside of the company who are selling the stocks and bonds and mutual funds to your fund, they're making money off of it. The people that are administrating the entire funds are making money off of it. As much as 50% of all your profit is being washed away on your 401k. 50% is gone from fees. But what do you get? You get a little piece of paper that states what? Well, maybe the fund, your net value of your fund is up, or maybe the net value of your fund is down each quarter. They will not disclose what the fees are. Congress tried to pass laws to make them disclose what the fees were, and they refused to let it go through. They lobbied so strongly that Obama backed off, the Congress backed off. Nobody is going to stop these people from ripping you off. It is a blind ripoff. You're being ripped off and you don't even know how much or by who, and there's no reporting. Because banks can do anything they want to do. Financial planners can do anything they want to do. It's a crazy thing. So would you be willing to buy this house and make no cash flow for 30 years? Just hoping the house goes up in value? Well, if you wouldn't, why would you buy a 401k and put money into it and hope that it's worth more at the end of 30 years? See, houses go up in value just as much as the stock market does. But the reality is that's not what you're trying to do. What you're trying to do is to create cash flow. Passive streams of cash flow that can replace your earned income so you can afford to retire. They keep telling you someday when you're old and gray that you're going to be able to have this lump sum of money and it's going to be able to support you. You know that's ridiculous. If you make $100,000 a year right now, even if you had $1 million, you could only survive for 10 years. You can't survive that way. Well, your cost's going to be lower. Why? Because you're starving? Because you're going to live frugally? No, my friends. As you get older, your cost of health and medical costs all go up. They're radical. I know I'm old now. And when I was young, I had no medical costs. Now I have massive medical costs every year. Do you understand that? What about the standard of living? Hey, my standard of living is much higher now than it was when I was 20 years old. I could have lived forever on $1 million when I was 20. Right now, I couldn't last a couple years. You have to understand, do you want to go backwards? Do you want to have a plan that was designed to fail? Because that's what the 401k is. That's what you're doing. And see, what's funny is you're getting nothing from this money. It's your money. It's in their hands, and they're getting rich. These guys make millions, if not tens of millions of dollars a year managing 401ks. You're getting nothing. Not even $1. Don't you think they could just send you a check for $10 every once in a while? Don't you think it'd be fair if they just give you a piece of the profit that your money is making out there, or that they're making off of your money? Wouldn't that be fair? Of course it would, but they're not going to do it. Now, on the other hand, you can go out here and take your money yourself, and you can go make 10, 20% cash on cash return, sometimes higher. I've got examples of way higher. Okay? You can go out there and make 25, 50, 100% capital gains. I've got examples of higher, much higher. You could do it on your own. No fees. Nobody ripping you off. Nobody taking half of your profits away from you. No, my friends, it's time for you to take your head out of the sand and realize what these guys are doing to you. Now, when we come back for break, I'm going to go over 2 or 3 other things these guys are doing to you that you're letting them do to you without even fighting back. But if you'd like to call in, the phone lines are open. The number here is 866-945-6565. Want to learn more about Lifestyles Unlimited and the Real Estate Education and Mentoring Program? 866-945-6565. We will be back to take your calls and to go through the rest of this financial planner situation, I've also got an article about how financial planners are ripping you off, where even the top financial planners admit that they're ripping you off. Number here is 866-945-6565. We'll take a short break. We'll be right back with the Del Walmsley Radio Show.
You're listening to the Del Walmsley Radio Show. Del will be right back with more life-changing principles in just a few minutes. Welcome back. Now here's some more unconventional wisdom to set you free from the man on a mission to retire America, one person at a time, Del Walmsley.
Our number here is 866-945-6565. Today's show is about how dumb of investments could I get you to do? How stupid can we get you to act if we were financial planners? Could we get you to give us all of your money? Think about this. I want you to give me all of your money, or some portion of your money, whatever percentage you want to give. I want you to give me your money, and I'm going to pay you 1% in return while I use it. Now, if you'll lock that money in for 4 or 5 years, let's say 5 years or 10 years, then I'd be willing to pay you even more, maybe 2, maybe 3. Man, if you lock it in for 10 years, I might even pay you 4%. And while I have that money for that 10 years, I'm going to make millions with your money and have no problem paying you 4%. If you want to be able to get it back within 1 year, I can only afford to pay you 1%, but I'll still make lots of money with your money. Does that sound fair? Is that really the way you want to go? Would that be okay with you? I'll do it if you want to do it. I'll do it all day long. You know why? Those things are called CDs. They're called bonds. And there are trillions of dollars of them out there earning their owners 1%, doing nothing with their money. Boy, would you fall for that? Trillions of dollars of people did. Would you? Our number is 866-945-6565. Holding now from California is Brian. Brian, what city are you from out there?
From San Francisco.
Great to have you on the show, man. We have a lot of San Franciscan members.
And I caught part of your show. I thought it was extremely interesting. And, I've been pondering what's been going on. I mean, it makes perfect sense that if your money makes more money, stocks and everything going up and down and fluctuating and whatnot, somebody's getting bonuses. Somebody's getting extra, but it sure as hell isn't me. And I like that, hey, how about $5? How about $10? How about something, once a month or something like that? Or you really don't see nothing until you're, 60 plus years old and damn near close to the grave before you get cashed out.
No doubt. And the thing that really gets me about it, Brian, is that when the stock market's going up or whenever anything's positive, they're making money by moving your money around and getting fees and commissions and all that stuff. And you get a little number on a piece of paper that's going a little higher. But when it goes the other way, when you're losing money, when that little number on that piece of paper is getting smaller, Brian, they're still getting rich. They're still making all those fees, all those commissions. And one of the things you got to realize is money doesn't disappear. It has to go somewhere. So if you've lost 20% of your net worth, somebody's got it. Dollars don't disappear. Somebody shorted that stock and sucked that money right out of your account, and these guys know who they did it. They did it. That's who did it. So
I believe it. I did want to ask, though, as far as an alternative, are you suggesting, like, for instance, in regards to an alternative to 401k, not just real estate, but 401k topic, you suggest like a CD or an IRA account as far as saving your money, as opposed to like that pre-tax 401k scenario where it's deferred comp?
Absolutely not. The IRA has many of the same problems that 401k has. In fact, it probably is even worse than a 401k in one way, and that is there's no contribution from your employer. But there's, you can't at least get it. You can cash it out if you want to. In the 401k, you can't cash it out unless you leave your company. So I don't like the 401ks. I don't like the IRAs. CDs and stuff like that, they just don't pay enough. I mean, we're looking at real estate deals, Brian, that you can get into passively. Just as passively as you put money into your 401k, to where you go in and get one of these deals and they earn anywhere from, let's say, 10 to 20% on a cash flow basis annually. So you're getting a check in the mail every month for 30 years while you're doing this. And you're also getting capital gains of anywhere from 25 to 500% per year. So it's, and they just keep going up. There's appreciation, there's depreciation, so the income is tax-free because of depreciation. There's just so many advantages. And the people that are doing it, when you go out there and invest like this, the rates of return that you're earning are so much higher. That's the first point. They're so much higher. Okay. And the second point is you're getting the income. It's not being deferred. Why do you want to defer income until you're 60? Well, I understand you're trying to have a retirement account, but that doesn't make any sense. If I could teach you to create $10,000 a month, and that's how people do this. They start out, buying houses if that's all the money they got. Once they have a little money, then they go into apartments, and then you're starting to look at cash flows that are massive. And it's not wait till 60 for some money to come out. It's right now. 2.5 years after I started investing, at 34 years of age, I retired. I had completely replaced my income from my job. And I've never had to go back to work since. And every single year, I've made more money than the year previous because I just buy a few more assets each year and my income goes up. And there's no losing money in this kind of investment because you're not losing. I've never lost a house. I've never lost an apartment complex. They're sitting right there. They're not going anywhere, And so it just a lot better choices, Brian. You need to check us out if you haven't, and just look us up. Listen to the podcast. It sounds like you just got on the air for the first time. Guys, by the way, we are all over the place now. We're in 50 plus cities. If they can't find our radio show, then find our podcast on the website. You just get every radio show there a day later. We're growing all over the place, and you just need to tell your friends if you would so they can save their lives too financially. Our number here is 866-945-6565. The next thing I want to ask you is this. Why don't you, instead of just giving me all your money for 1%, why don't you give me all of your money and let me go invest it? All right? Now, I'll charge you a management fee of 4% or so. And of course, I'll make commissions on everything I sell you. If I sell you a house or apartment, I make real estate commissions on it. You may make some money by doing that because I'm pretty good at what I do. So you may make some money by doing that. But what you need to understand is that if you lose all your money, it doesn't matter. I still already made all my fees. And you really can't come after me for losing all your money. So what am I talking about? I'm talking about being a financial planner. By the way, there's a radio show out there where the guy goes, if you're at least 50 and going to retire, you got over $1 million, call me and I'll help you. How's he going to help you? I'll tell you he's going to help you. He's going to take your money and charge you $40,000 a year to invest your money the same way you'd invest it as a broker, just getting paid commissions. He's going to get commissions and the fees, and he's going to make a lot of money. That's what he does. Got to realize that these guys are doing this stuff, man. 866-945-6565. Phone lines will be open. Then we'll come back with more of the Del Walmsley Radio Show.
You're listening to the Del Walmsley Radio Show. Del will be right back with more life-changing principles in just a few minutes. Welcome back. Now here's some more unconventional wisdom to set you free from the man on a mission to retire America, one person at a time. Del Walmsley.
Number here is 866-945-6565. If you'd like to call and discuss any of this craziness, the lines are open. Just wanted to start letting you know, it's the first time I talked about it, that we're going to have the largest real estate investor expo in the country. By far, no one has even come close to the size expos we have. We're bringing in all different types of investors for you to learn from, and it's really, really inexpensive to get in. I think it's $49 for your family, whole family, to get in that way. And we've got places for you to stay if you want to come in from out of town. But we are going to have the top 10 real estate investors in the country there, and you'll be able to meet these people. And we're going to have road trips. We're actually going to take bus tours out to our apartments that we own. We're going to show you Class A, B, C, and D apartment complexes. And you meet the owners. You'll be able to see what we've done with these things and how we turn them around, how much money they're making. There's just all kinds of stuff going on. There's vendor booths there. There's hundreds of vendors going to be there. And there's breakout sessions where people can, you can go in and take classes on buying single-family homes or buying multifamily homes. And there's breakout sessions from different types of investors, different, nationally known guys and some local guys. So you want to get involved, you're just going to get a hold of Lifestyles, and in the future, something's going to come up. Now, we've been ranting about how much would you allow me to rip you off if I were a financial planner? Well, the thing that started all this was a article that someone sent me about financial planners ripping people off. So I wanted to see how far I could parallel it before we went into this article to show you, in my own words, how ridiculous these other ideas are and how much you're getting ripped off. But now I'm just going to read you this article because I think they sum it up pretty well, although they didn't use specifics like I did. It says, if you've been watching any commercial television lately, you are well aware that the financial services industry is very busy running expensive ads imploring us to worry about our retirement futures. Open a new account today, they say. We're not wrong that we should be worrying about something about our financial future. America is in a retirement crisis. 1 in 3 Americans has no retirement savings at all. 1 in 2 reports that they can't save enough to retire. On top of that, we're living longer and our health care costs are higher than ever because of Obamacare and will continue to go up. Now, by the way, what's interesting about this is an article from Frontline, which is PBS's news talk show thing. And, that's liberal. That's massively liberal. This is the government's left armpit, would you say? And even they're admitting that this stuff isn't working, okay? It goes on and says, but as I found when I investigated the retirement planning and mutual fund industries in the Retirement Gamble, which airs tonight, by the way, it's not tonight, it's sometime past, those advertisements were imploring us to start saving for one simple reason. Retirement is big business and very profitable. It doesn't take a genius to figure out that the more we save into the industry's financial products, the more money they make in fees and commissions, trading our hard-earned cash. As long as they don't run away with our money or invest in a Ponzi scheme, they will have little in the way of accountability to us when something goes wrong. And even then, it can be hard to fight back. Big banks, brokerages, insurance companies, and other financial institutions operate under the something called suitability standard, which says they don't have to give you the best advice, just advice that is not too egregiously terrible. Now think about it. They can give you bad advice, but not too egregiously terrible. But the question is, what is suitability? What is the suitability standard? It's what they say it is. They say you can put all your stuff in our stupid financial products and lose your money, but that's suitable. That's expected. That's not egregious. That's what all financial planners do, because we all work to do the same thing, which is to rip you off and pound you with fees of every kind and commissions. Let's say you sit down with your advisor at your brokerage or bank and ask for some advice how you should allocate your retirement savings or which funds you might want to choose for your IRA. You get lots of advice, but chances are it's worth very little. 85% of all financial advisors and financial planners are really just brokers or salesmen. Their incentive is to sell you a product that makes them a higher commission, not necessarily a product that maximizes your chances of saving more. Only 15% of advisors are fiduciaries, advisors who by law must operate with your best interests in mind. Doesn't mean they have to be good. It just means they have to think in your best interest. So if they think it's in your best interest to be in this fund or this product or that product, even if they're wrong, you can't do anything about it. At least they have to act like it. So the only thing a fiduciary does is it says, well, I can't sell you my stock that I own at a 100% gain to me and a 100% loss to you, because that wouldn't be thinking of you first. That's the fiduciary responsibility clause. But it doesn't mean I'm a dumb idiot financial planner. I got my license. I'm a fiduciary, but I'm an idiot and I lost all your money. So sorry. I thought I was doing the right thing for you. I had your interest in mind, but I'm an idiot, so I lost all your money. So it goes on and says, last year, Obama administration proposed a rule to mandate that all financial advisors, financial planners, and other assorted financial wizards would have to adopt a fiduciary standard when it came to employee retirement accounts such as 401ks and IRAs. Financial services industry, which today manages somewhere around $10 trillion of our retirement nest eggs, thought this was a bad idea and pushed back hard. Scores of their protest letters poured into the U.S. Labor Department, the branch of the government responsible for regulating employee retirement accounts. Congress, too, was hit with flurries of lobbying campaigns. This way would be too expensive, the industry said. If we have to provide such a standard of service, we would either have to pack up and find another business or have to pass the costs on to customers. The Obama administration immediately pulled their proposal after all the pressure. Think of that. The man for the man, the man for the small man, the man for the big man, the man for the country, pulled the proposal. He won't back down to any of the stupid stuff he does. But for the one law that he was trying to pass that actually made sense, just as soon as anybody pushed back on him in dollars and cents, where it would have cost him some money, he backed down right away. So how would a new fiduciary rule change things? Chances are you would be sold less expensive products, not only in your IRA accounts, but inside of your company's 401k as well. And it's all about fees. While reporting on retirement plans for Frontline, nothing has been more surprising to me than the corrosive effect of fees on the retirement savings. Now, you understand in your 401k and your IRA, they do not tell you what the fees are. It's all secret. And that's what the law was going to do. It was going to require them to show you what they're actually charging you. But it won't go through. Okay? It says it's simple. Fund fees can erode as much as half, 50% or more of your prospective gains. For the sake of dramatization, John Bogle, founder of Vanguard, the world's largest mutual fund company and pioneer of low-cost index funds, gave me a startling example while we were filming. Assume you're invested in mutual funds, he says, with a gross return of 7%. Luckily, hopefully, but that mutual fund charges you an annual fee of 2%. Over a 50-year investment lifetime, that 2% fee will erode 63% of what you have had, what you would have had. As Bogle put it, the tyranny of compounding costs is overwhelming. The tyranny. Do you hear that? This is a guy in the financial institutions industry, and he's saying it's tyranny. Right? Unbelievable. The short fees matter. In short, fees matter. So what can you do? You aren't going to find a fund that invests your money for free, but experts say you can come close by buying index funds. These fees, these fees can be a tenth of what the average mutual fund cost is. And over time, in a bull and bear markets, an average index funds perform better than their more expensive, actually managed fund cousins. This is no secret to anyone who is paying attention. So why aren't these trusted financial advisors and those ads telling us to buy index funds? Why do some 401k plans not even offer them? It's because even though an index fund might be a better option for you or me, a broker who operates under a suitability standard has no incentive to sell to us. He or she will make higher commissions from options that have higher fees. Wow. There it is, folks. Can you imagine that? Higher fees. Sadly, a recent AARP study reported that 70% of mutual fund savers were not even aware that they were paying fees at all. Is there hope for change? No. No one's going to pass a bill that takes the money out of the financial planner's hand. And there it is. That sums it up, folks.
If you want to contact me, it's askdell@luinc.com, which stands for Lifestyles Unlimited Inc. So it's askdell@luinc.com.
Our number here is 866-945-6565. We'll cover that when we come back with the Del Walmsley Radio Show.
You're listening to the Del Walmsley Radio Show. Del will be right back with more life-changing principles in just a few minutes. Welcome back. Now here's some more unconventional wisdom to set you free from the man on a mission to retire America, one person at a time, Del Walmsley.
Welcome back to the last segment of Del Walmsley Radio Show. Our number here is 866-945-6565. 6565. I've got an email here from Adi. It says, I've listened to a couple podcasts, your radio show, and I wanted some advice on getting started with investing. Like you said, I want to get off the couch and buy my life back from corporate America. I'm from Houston originally, 28 years old, and renting in the Boston area. Would you like to know, I would like to know some good ways to get started and also your opinion on REITs. Okay, let's talk about REITs to start with. A REIT is a terrible real estate investment because what it is, it's the financial institutions trying to take advantage of people who realize that real estate's a better investment than the stock market is. And so what they've done, because they can't make any money off real estate, is they've institutionalized it and turned it into a company. And so they sell you these REITs. They make commissions going in. They make management fees to operate them. And all it really becomes is a watered-down version of a real estate deal. Very much less profitable than if you own one yourself. Secondly, many of these things you can't get in and out of. They're not like stocks and bonds where you can sell them openly on the market. You're in, and you're in until they sell the thing, until they liquidate the transaction. So owning it yourself is way better than that. Now, how do you learn to own it yourself? You're going to have to get educated. We have two ways at Lifestyles, if you like lifestyles here. One of the ways is if you're in Boston, you can take our program over the internet. We have an internet program. The entire classes are available over the internet. Or you can, or both, you can also, if you're a member, come down to Houston, Dallas, or San Antonio and take the class. I like people to come in. Now, a lot of people start with the online class, but then they realize, boy, I sure would like to get that hands-on attention. And I like to give the hands-on attention, so I like people to fly in and take the 2-day with me. We have a hotel right next door. I mean, directly next door. You can walk. It's a nice 2 or 3 days. I mean, you can come out on Thursday if you want and see the case study, which is where the real estate investors get up and tell their stories. Then Saturday and Sunday is my 2-day, and I go to lunch with everybody on Saturday. Sometimes we go out for cocktails and dinner on Saturday night. Sunday, we go to lunch. So I get a lot of time with you. I get, 2 full days with you. If you're interested in getting started, that's the way to do it and get involved. And by the way, for those of you that don't know this, we're all over the country now. We just picked up a couple more cities the other day. We're all over the country, so tell your friends about us. Have them listen to us, and if they can't get us for some reason, there's not a station in their area, have them ask their station to bring us on, because they will. I mean, that's the way it's working right now. People are starting to ask us to come on. And people want something more. They want to listen to something more interesting than just beans and rice, beans and rice, beans and rice, pay off all your debt and be broke the rest of your life. They don't want to hear that stuff. They want to find out how to be financially free, and we're the one to teach you how to do it. Next guy is Gene. Gene says, I love your show, and I love Lifestyles Unlimited. I've been a member for 2 years. I have 5 houses so far. On my 5th house, I did a commercial loan, and it's an 80% loan at 5% for 5 years. After that, it is prime at 1%, plus 1%. I was able to get cash back as well, so the deal turned out to be great. $3,500 cash out of pocket. Cash flow is $350 a month, and I have still earned $23,000 in equity. Now, folks, think about this. He used $3,500 to make $23,000 instant captured equity. That's a 600% return. Are you getting that in any of your investments you're doing right now? He's also got a month-to-month cash flow of $350 a month, which is $4,200 a year on $3,500 investment. That's over 100% cash-on-cash return. Can you imagine a bond earning you 100% cash-on-cash return, and then at the end you sell the bond for 600% of what you paid for it? No, you can't imagine that, because there's no such thing like that. Real estate is the only place you can make that kind of money. Why aren't you doing it? Get off the couch, get going. Let's do this stuff. Let's get you rich, okay? And if I don't care about rich, it's not the money. Let's get you retired. Let's get your life back. Let's buy your life back. He goes on and says, what do you think about using this loan for future houses? I hope to sell all my houses at some point, so the 5 years doesn't really bother me at the floating loan after 5 years. So in other words, he's going to sell within 5 years and buy an apartment complex. So yeah, I love the idea. He also goes on and says, I've also considered rolling all my houses into one loan with the lender. I would pull out at least $40,000 cash by buying more properties. My cash flow would only go down by from $2,300 to $1,950. Terms would be the same. I could add and subtract homes from this loan anytime. I was thinking it was a good way to keep my business growing and buying more properties. What do you think? Are you out of your mind? I think it's incredibly good. let's just go through what this gentleman is saying. I don't think you guys get it, so I'm going to try to hammer it out for you. He can go in there and refinance his properties, pull out $40,000. Now, he just bought a house for $3,500. So with $40,000, he can buy more than 10 houses, all right? He's making $350 a month on the house, times 10 would be $3,500 more, along with the $1,950 already making. He'd be making $5,500 a month in passive streams of income, tax-free, right? So that is $60,000 a year tax-free income, which is equivalent to more like $70,000 or $80,000. Don't you think he should do that? Would you like to earn $70,000 or $80,000 a year passively? $60,000 tax-free? But wait, what about the equity capture? What if he captures $23,000 10 more times? That's $230,000 gain this year? Of course I want him to do more of this. Gene, go crazy. This is an incredible story. You absolutely need to get out there and get this thing going, man. Can you imagine if more people would do this? You're talking about not being able to retire after 30 or 40 years of saving your money in a 401k. And Gene's going to be able to retire this year. Are you out of your mind? Do you not see how important that is? That's what you need to be doing, and that's what I want to show you how to do. So, my friends, as we get into this thing and we get going, you got to realize, if you keep on doing what you're doing, you're going to keep on getting what you're getting. If you want to have the kinds of results that Gene's getting, if you want to be able to retire in 2 years, 3 years, we'd say 7 years or less. Some people say 5 years or less. I did it in 2.5 years. Gene's going to do it in 2.5 years. If you want those types of results for yourself, you're going to have to make the decision to change. Because if you keep on doing what you're doing, you're going to keep on getting what you're getting. And just like the gentleman who called up and said, you're not getting anything. No check in the mail, no retirement account, nothing's going to happen, and you're going to be broke. But remember, it's not the money, it's the lifestyle.
The information and opinions you hear on the Del Walmsley radio show are those of the host, Del Walmsley, his guests, and his callers, and do not necessarily reflect the opinions of this station, its affiliates, its management, or advertisers. The Del Walmsley show is for entertainment purposes only. Please consult a professional regarding your personal investment needs. Nothing presented on the Del Walmsley show constitutes an endorsement, recommendation, offer, or solicitation to buy or sell any product or security.